Imagine a town where every day feels like a Monday, the economy is stuck in a rut, and the crime rate is the only thing climbing. The US is known for its charming, picturesque towns, but today we're flipping the script. Get ready for a wild ride as we dive into towns that seem to have been left behind by time and fortune. Buckle up for our countdown for the worst towns to live in the United States. Coming in at number 10 in our list of the worst towns to live in the US for 2024 is Saginaw, Michigan. Now, Saginaw isn't just battling harsh weather, it's also grappling with economic and safety challenges that make it a tough place to call home. First off, let's talk about the weather. If you're not a fan of long, bitterly cold winters, Saginaw might not be your dream destination. The town gets a significant amount of snowfall, and those winter months can feel endless. On the flip side, summers can be quite pleasant, but they're often too brief to make up for the lengthy winters. One of the biggest issues facing Saginaw is its struggling economy. The median property price in Saginaw hovers around $47,800, which is significantly lower than the national median. While this might seem like a bargain, it's a reflection of the broader economic challenges in the area. High unemployment rates and limited job opportunities contribute to the financial strain on residents. This economic downturn has had a ripple effect, leading to a range of social issues. Now, onto the topic that most people worry about, crime. Saginaw has one of the highest crime rates in the nation, significantly above the national average. With a violent crime rate that sits at 2,019 incidents per 100,000 residents, the town is far from safe. Property crimes are also rampant, making everyday life in Saginaw a bit of a gamble. The lack of adequate law enforcement and community support exacerbates this issue, leaving many residents feeling vulnerable. Despite these challenges, Saginaw is home to some incredibly resilient and tight-knit communities. Their efforts to revitalize parts of the town and improve safety and economic prospects, but it's a slow and ongoing process. So while Saginaw may be rich in history and community spirit, the combination of harsh weather, economic woes, and high crime rates make it a tough place to live for many. Now let's talk about Albany, Georgia, which has earned the unfortunate spot of being number 9 on our list. Albany's reputation for high crime rates, combined with challenging weather conditions and economic struggles, makes it a less desirable place to call home. Starting with the weather, Albany experiences a humid subtropical climate. Summers are typically hot and sticky, with temperatures frequently soaring into the 90s. While this might appeal to sun lovers, the oppressive humidity can be tough to handle. Winters, on the other hand, are mild, but can still be unpredictable, bringing occasional cold snaps that surprise residents unprepared for a chill. And when it comes to the cost of living, one might think Albany's affordability could be a silver lining. The median property value here is around $105,000, which is significantly lower than the national average. However, the attractive property prices are often overshadowed by other pressing concerns. High crime rates, for instance, severely impact the quality of life and the sense of safety in the community. Speaking of crime, Albany's statistics are alarming. The crime rate stands at 70.87 per 1,000 residents annually, a figure much higher than the national average. This translates to a 1 in 10 chance of becoming a victim of crime if you're in certain central neighborhoods of the town. To put this into perspective, Albany has a D- grade for safety, meaning it's less safe than 90% of U.S. cities. This includes significant spikes in aggravated assaults and homicides, making Albany one of Georgia's most dangerous metro areas. Moreover, Albany struggles with high poverty rates. The local poverty rate is 22.6%, which is almost double the national average. This economic hardship contributes to the town's high crime rates and makes it challenging for residents to find stable employment and maintain a good quality of life. Number 8. Alexandria, Louisiana. First off, let's chat about the weather. Alexandria has a humid subtropical climate, which means you're in for hot, muggy summers and mild winters. In the summers, temperatures frequently hit the mid-90s, and the humidity can make it feel even hotter. Winters are more bearable, with temperatures rarely dipping below the 40s, but the humidity is a constant companion year-round. For those who love a warm climate, this might sound appealing, but the oppressive heat can be challenging. challenging, especially when coupled with the economic struggles many residents face. Speaking of economics, the median property value in Alexandria is about $150,000, which is quite affordable compared to the national average. However, don't let the low housing costs fool you into thinking this is a bargain town. The low property prices are a reflection of deeper issues, including a struggling local economy and high unemployment rates, make it hard for many residents to make ends meet. Now, let's get to the heart of why Alexandria ranks so poorly. Crime. Alexandria has a crime rate of 63.56 per 1,000 residents annually, which is significantly higher than the national average. This means that residents face a considerably higher risk of experiencing violent crimes like assaults, robberies, and homicides. Property crimes are also prevalent, contributing to an overall feeling of insecurity in the community. Another critical factor is the city's high poverty rate, which sits around 26.2%, significantly higher than the national average. This economic hardship exacerbates the crime situation, creating a challenging environment for residents trying to build a better life. In conclusion, while Alexandria, Louisiana might offer a warm climate and affordable housing, these benefits are overshadowed by severe economic challenges and high crime rates. For anyone considering moving to Alexandria, it's essential to weigh these factors carefully to understand the full picture of what living in this town entails. Next up, let's dive into Compton, California, holding the somewhat infamous spot of number 7 in our list. This town, which has a rich history and significant cultural contributions, especially in music, struggles with some pretty severe issues that overshadow its bright spots. First off, the weather in Compton is quintessential Southern California. You can expect mild, sunny weather for most of the year, with average highs in the mid-70s during winter and reaching the high 80s in summer. While the climate might seem idyllic, the everyday challenges faced by residents tell a different story. Let's talk real estate. The median property value in Compton is around $518,800, which is quite high compared to the national average, but relatively affordable for the Los Angeles area. This high cost of living doesn't necessarily translate into a better quality of life, though. Many residents struggle with economic hardships, and the cost of housing can be a significant burden. Now, on to the most pressing issue, crime. Compton has long been notorious for its high crime rates, and the statistics from 2020 highlight the severity of this situation. With a violent crime rate of 1,110 incidents per 100,000 people, Compton's rate is well above the national average of 398.5 incidents per 100,000 people. This means that residents face a heightened risk of encountering violent crimes such as assaults, robberies, and homicides. Property crimes are also rampant, further contributing to the sense of insecurity among the community. Compton's crime issues are deeply intertwined with its economic struggles. The city has a high poverty rate of around 20.4%, which is significantly above the national average. Economic instability often leads to higher crime rates, creating a vicious cycle that's difficult to break. Despite efforts to improve the situation, many residents continue to face significant challenges. Let's shine a light on Mack, Georgia, taking the 6th spot in our list of the worst towns to live in the U.S. in 2024. Macon, known for its rich musical heritage and historical significance, faces numerous challenges that make life here quite tough for its residents. Macon experiences a humid subtropical climate, which means hot, muggy summers and mild winters. Summer temperatures often soar into the high 80s and 90s, with humidity levels that can make it feel even hotter. Winters are relatively mild, with average temperatures in the 50s, but the occasional cold snap can bring frost and even a rare snowfall. Now, turning to real estate, Macon presents a more affordable housing market compared to many parts of the U.S. The median property value in Macon is around $125,000, which is significantly lower than the national median. This affordability, however, comes with its own set of drawbacks. Many of the neighborhoods suffer from neglect and underinvestment, leading to deteriorating housing conditions and limited amenities. The most pressing issue facing Macon is its high crime rate. According to recent data, Macon has a violent crime rate of 1,059 incidents per 100,000 residents, which is substantially higher than the national average of 398.5 incidents per 100,000 people. This elevated crime rate includes a worrying number of assaults, robberies, and homicides, contributing to an atmosphere of unease and insecurity. poverty. Economic challenges further exacerbate the situation in Macon. The city has a poverty rate of approximately 25.6%, which is well above the national average. Economic hardship often correlates with higher crime rates, creating a vicious cycle that is hard to break. Unemployment and underemployment are significant issues, with many residents struggling to find stable, well-paying jobs. Number 5. Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Pine Bluff, a town with a rich history, is now struggling with several issues that make life here quite challenging for its residents. Pine Bluff has a humid subtropical climate, which means residents experience hot, humid summers and mild to cool winters. Summers can see temperatures climbing into the 90s, often accompanied by high humidity levels that can make the heat feel even more oppressive. Winters are generally mild, with temperatures averaging in the 40s and 50s, though occasional cold snaps can bring freezing temperatures and even snow. When it comes to housing, Pine Bluff offers relatively affordable options. The median property value in Pine Bluff is about $70,000, which is significantly lower than the national median of around $230,000. This affordability, however, is a double-edged sword. While it makes homeownership accessible, the low property values are often reflective of the town's economic struggles and lack of investment in infrastructure and community amenities. The most significant challenge facing Pine Bluff is its high crime rate. According to recent data, Pine Bluff has a violent crime rate of 1,315 incidents per 100,000 residents, making it one of the most dangerous towns in the country. The rate is more than 3 times the national average of 398.5 incidents per 100,000 people. The high crime rate includes a troubling number of violent crimes such as homicides, assaults, and robberies, contributing to an atmosphere of fear and insecurity among residents. Economic difficulties further exacerbate the situation in Pine Bluff. The town has a high poverty rate, with nearly 1/3 of its residents living below the poverty line. This economic hardship is linked to the high crime rate, creating a cycle that's difficult to break. Number 4. Gary, Indiana. Once a booming industrial hub, Gary now faces numerous challenges that have significantly impacted the quality of life for its residents. Gary experiences a humid continental climate, which means hot summers and cold, snowy winters. Summer temperatures often climb into the high 80s, with humidity levels make it feel even hotter. Winters, on the other hand, can be quite brutal, with temperatures frequently dropping below freezing and substantial snowfall, thanks to the town's proximity to Lake Michigan. If you're not a fan of extreme seasonal changes, Gary's weather might not be your cup of tea. Housing in Gary is very affordable, which is one of the few bright spots. The median property value in Gary is around $54,900, starkly contrasted with a national median of about $230,000. However, this low cost of living reflects the town's economic struggles, with many abandoned homes and properties contributing to the overall sense of decline. Crime is a major issue in Gary. The town has a violent crime rate of 855 incidents per 100,000 residents, which is significantly higher than the national average of 398.5 incidents per 100,000. This high crime rate includes a mix of violent offenses such as assaults, robberies, and homicides, contributing to a pervasive sense of insecurity among residents. Economically, Gary has been hit hard by the decline of the steel industry, which once provided a stable economic base for the town. The unemployment rate remains high, and many residents struggle with poverty. Efforts to revitalize the economy have seen limited success, leaving the town in a state of limbo as it tries to find a new identity and economic foundation. Number 3. Flint, Michigan. Welcome to Flint, Michigan, the third worst town to live in the U.S. for 2024. Flint's troubles have been well documented over the years, but let's dive into the specifics that earn it this dubious distinction today. First off, the weather in Flint can be quite challenging. The city experiences a humid continental climate with cold, snowy winters and warm, humid summers. Winter temperatures often drop below freezing, and the city receives an average of 36 inches of snow per year. Summers are more comfortable but can still get quite warm, with highs reaching into the mid-80s. If you're someone who prefers mild weather year-round, Flint's climate might not be your ideal match. In terms of housing, Flint is incredibly affordable. which is both a blessing and a curse. The median property value in Flint is around $28,000, significantly lower than the national median of approximately $230,000. However, this low property value reflects the city's economic struggles and high vacancy rates, with many abandoned and dilapidated homes contributing to urban blight. Crime remains a significant issue in Flint, with a violent crime rate of 1,929 incidents per 100,000 residents, according to the latest data. This is more than 4 times the national average of 398.5 incidents per 100,000 residents. High rates of assault, robbery, and homicide make safety a major concern for residents. The city's ongoing economic hardships and high unemployment rates exacerbate these problems, make it difficult to curb the high crime rates. Flint's economic challenges are rooted in the decline of the auto industry, which once served as the backbone of the local economy. The city has struggled to recover from the loss of manufacturing jobs, and recent attempts at economic diversification have had limited success. The Flint water crisis, which began in 2014, further compounded the city's struggles, damaging public health and trust in local government. Number 2. Camden, New Jersey. Camden, New Jersey claims the number 2 spot in the list. It's not just because it's the birthplace of Campbell's soup, but also due to a combination of factors that would make even the most adventurous house hunter think twice. Camden doesn't just do seasons, it does extremes. Summers can feel like you're melting into the sidewalk, with temperatures soaring and humidity that turns your shirt into a second skin. Winter? Forget about it. It's not just cold, it's wind-whipping through your bones cold. Hope you like layering. Now, on to property prices. If you're dreaming of a quaint little fixer-upper, Camden might not be your dream spot. Median property rates here are higher than the national average, which is a bit like paying full price for a slightly dented can of soup. Sure, you might get a discount, but it's still a dent. And then there's the elephant in the room, the crime rate. Camden unfortunately surpasses the national average for crime, which means you might want to invest in the best home security system money can buy. On the bright side, if you're into crime dramas, you'll have plenty of material to work with for that novel you've been meaning to write. So while Camden might have a rich history and a few hidden gems, it's clear why it's not winning any Best Place to Live awards this year. Unless you really love soup, maybe consider a few other options before you pack your bags for this East Coast hotspot. Alright, on to number 1, East St. Louis, Illinois. East St. Louis, Illinois lands at the top spot in the list. Buckle up because we're in for a ride through some eyebrow-raising statistics and tales from the urban frontier. First off, picture this. East St. Louis isn't exactly winning any weather awards. With hot, humid summers that cling to you like a needy cat, and winters that can make you question your life choices and your heater's reliability, it's a town where weather extremes are more like a lifestyle than small talk. Forget about breezy spring days or crisp fall mornings. Here, it's more like sweating buckets or bundling up for the next ice age. If you're a fan of meteorological roller coasters, East St. Louis might just be your theme park. Now let's talk about real estate. If you're dreaming of buying property here, get ready to empty those piggy banks. The median property rate in East St. Louis can make your jaw drop faster than a faulty elevator. It's not exactly the bargain bin of real estate. You're looking at prices that could have you wondering if you accidentally added an extra zero. So unless you've got pockets as deep as the Mariana Trench, you might want to consider renting if you can find something that doesn't come with its own set of surprises. Crime rates. The cherry on top of our dubious sundae. According to the latest scoop, East St. Louis boasts a crime rate that's higher than a kite in a lightning storm. We're talking about the national average here, folks. If you've got a knack for finding trouble or just like living on the edge of your seat, this might be the place for you. Lock your doors, hide your valuables, and maybe invest in some high-tech security gadgets, because in East St. Louis, it's not just the weather that keeps you on your toes. So there you have it, America's top 10 towns you might want to avoid in 2024. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Explore Next channel. Leave a comment below about which region you'd like us to explore next. Alright everyone, have a fantastic day and remember to be kind to each other.